We know a healthy diet is a key part of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. That healthy lifestyle can add years to your life, and it starts with small choices. That is why Naturade founders have made it their mission to provide healthy alternatives to the Black community. Kareem Cook and Claude Tellis, they started their company after seeing many of their family members suffer from diet-related illness. First, they created healthy body products, which provided healthy vending machine options for kids in school. They also are a big reason that the laws of California now ban junk food vending machines in the city of Los Angeles and now the rest of the state. Then they acquired the brand Naturade in 2012, which is now one of the largest Black-owned natural supplement companies in the U.S. Here to talk to us about that mission in their company is CMO Kareem Cook and CEO Claude Tellis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I am so happy to have you guys. I actually have some Naturade in my kitchen right now. Excited about that. We met at an event, so this is awesome. Nice little full circle moment. Getting right to it, though, how did you acquire Naturade? I remember you telling this story once before. What was the reason behind the acquisition? Kareem.
Well, we saw a lot of deaths, untimely deaths, based on diet-related decisions in our personal families. And Claude and I, who were friends and frat brothers at Duke University, have been having these conversations for years, and we had the opportunity to, on the heels of doing the healthy vending machines, raise some money and buy a company and immediately make an effect in our neighborhoods and our communities. We had to take the opportunity to do it. So we bought Naturade and immediately launched some healthy products for us.
You guys really have a really great story. I remember talking to you, Kareem, and I was just floored at how the growth of the company. Claude, I actually want to talk to you a little bit about that growth. What was your growth mission after you purchased Naturade back in 2012?
Yeah, the focus really was just getting more distribution in more stores and growing the company as a focus on being in more stores and being more visible. We actually, around 2019, leaned in very hard to our vision and mission around reversing prediabetes, which affects 100 million people a year. And we realized that we're in a health and wellness market that's about $10-15 billion and growing. However, you still have 100 million people who are pre-diabetic and 130 million who are also type 2 diabetic on top of that. And so our vision and mission started becoming getting the product to people who need it the most. And we've had tremendous success on Amazon, Costco. We have a huge launch with Magic Johnson, both Costco LA and Costco San Diego. And now we've actually gotten distribution in Whole Foods, Target, IHERB.com, and many more.
You know, I think it was about 5 or 6 months, Mimi, correct me, since we had our talk, Kareem, and I'm sure there's been so much more growth since that conversation. Kareem, I want to know, what growth did you see since the start of the pandemic? A lot of things happened with our health and wellness. What are some of those changes that you saw from the start of the pandemic to now?
So funny enough, we started in 2012, right? And you say, well, what's happened since then? The issue was we were talking about a crisis that affects the African American community disproportionately, and it just wasn't resonating, right? Until COVID hit, and then you started to see people dying from COVID based on their underlying diseases like diabetes, and all of a sudden people were like, okay, that's what those guys have been talking about forever, and that's what allowed us to get into the Costco's, the Targets, the Whole Foods, and we've been welcomed into national retail and the retail chains. Since we last talked, though, like Claude was starting to mention, we are now in Costco. Costco is the holy grail of distribution. We're one of only 2 Black companies in Costco right now. And we're in, we just got to San Diego, Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah, which is a huge accomplishment for a company, not just any company, but especially an African-American company. So we've had a lot of growth and a lot of people understanding what was happening based on the last couple of years.
Kareem, there's a lot of stories. We chatted for a brief moment, but there was one story I remember calling my producer and saying, we have to have them on the show because can you tell us the story, the Costco story, kind of like how that all unraveled and how that all went down? Because, it's a beautiful trajectory, honestly.
Yeah, so, we had been trying to get into Costco for about 5 years. We were going up there, we were meeting some important people, trying to use relationships, and we had a buyer there who wanted to figure out how to get us in. And what it really took us having to do was to explain to them that there are reasons that they don't see. They had blind spots as to why companies like us, black-owned companies, haven't actually gotten into Costco, and we were able to tell them at the highest levels what was happening. And then once we got in there, it's one thing to allow black companies in, but it's another thing for them to support our growth while we're there. And Costco has been doing that. And but it took the team effort of having to, one, show them their blind spots as to why there were no black companies there, and then show them how they could help us grow and succeed. And it's been a great experience.
Yeah, and I remember you were saying one Costco story, just one store turned into so many stores as a result of that, finding that blind spot. That part of your story definitely was something that touched me a lot, so I'm happy that we could shine that today. Now, Claude, I'm sure that undertaking like this, Naturade is a very big brand. Let us know some of the hurdles that you had to overcome during this time. I'm sure everything hasn't been just perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the two biggest things for black-owned companies and smaller companies is first going to be access to equity capital, and then second is supply chain. In this current environment. So for us, we were really blessed to have financial backgrounds. As Kareem said, we both went to Duke University. We both pledged capital, Alpha Psi there, and I went on to Wharton. He went on to Duke. So we had great financial backgrounds, and that allowed us to actually understand how to raise capital. And I think that's one of the biggest things with black-owned companies is getting involved if you don't have the knowledge yourself. Goldman Sachs is a 10K small business program. McKinsey and Company, as well as Deloitte and Touche, are all having different programs to help black folks out. So definitely lean into that and get those resources. So for us, we were able to write our own business plans. We were able to negotiate against different investors and get equity capital to grow the company. And then being in Costco, it's all about scale and being able to deliver at like a 98, 99% fill rate. And so that really requires a really, really sophisticated supply chain. And I think that's the second thing that we were really strong at. We're experiencing 35% growth, and now we're experiencing 100% growth in Costco. To be able to scale quickly, at the level of other big companies, you really have to be, kind of strong in those two areas: access to capital and supply chain management.
That's something, Claude, that not many black-owned companies can say that they've been able to accomplish. So I'm just so proud of you guys. Just really quick, Kareem, we've talked about diabetes. I know that diabetes is something that affects the black community, but more importantly, how does Naturade's mission directly impact the black community and those that look like myself and you guys as well?
Well, here's the thing, right? So we sell plant-based meal replacements, and we often joke we sell plant-based meal replacements to meat eaters, right? So the majority of people we talking to are never going to go plant-based 100%. Only 5% of the population can do that. And so our mission has been one that's been very palatable. It's just balance. If you're going to do the bacon cheeseburger at night, then do a plant-based smoothie in the morning. And we want you to lose, and you'll have some balance in your life. You'll feel a lot better. And really the goal, according to the American Diabetes Association, if you lose 60% of people who are pre-diabetic, if you lose 10% of your body weight, you can go from pre-diabetic to healthy. And so we're just trying to get people to do better, right? And then once you're on the track of doing better, we're giving you a way that you can win that's not as hard as going full blown and seeing some gains. And so that's been effective. And like Claude alluded to, we're at places where, there are 30 companies that sell similar products, right? They're all in the same place. But when we go to Essence Festival, we go to other places. We were at the Sigma Gamma Rho Boulé last week. We're the only company that's actually talking to the consumer who needs the most. And that's the difference between us and the people we compete with. And so we're very targeted, and as a result, we've been very successful.
Claude, lastly, I literally could talk to you guys forever. Kareem, I feel like we were chatting for 2 hours, it feels like, because I am so just obsessed with this story and the growth of you guys' business. But just really quickly, Claude, before we go, we're running out of time here, but what has Naturade done to disrupt the industry? And I really want to know to disrupt the industry. I can't ask all my questions. I'm sorry. I know we're running out of time.
Making it cool to be healthy. At the end of the day, when we got sodas out of the California public high schools, we brought Michael Ealy, we brought the barbershop cast folks to show people, hey, when they're getting ready for a role, it's about, this is what they do. This is what being cool is for them. And so I think, our vision and mission is around making sure people know we're plant-based, we taste great, we're gonna help you lose weight, but we're gonna do it in a fun, cool kind of way. We're gonna bring in, celebrities such as Badass Vegan and Magic Johnson and more relevant folk, and let people know that, look, like, we don't have to have diabetes. We don't have to get our legs cut off. We don't have to have these chronic diseases. These aren't genes that were passed down. They were recipes that were passed down. And if we can cut the carbs, start to intermittent fast, start to exercise, and eat a little bit cleaner, it doesn't mean it has to taste bad. So we're trying to be the difference that we hope to see.
Oh, wow. So beautiful. Claude and Kareem, Naturade, just really quickly, can you let our soulmates know where they can find you online and on your website?
Yeah, you can find us on Amazon.com. Our hit product is Vegan Smart. You can also find us in Costco, all the LA Costcos, as well as Costco in San Diego and a number of the other states that Kareem mentioned. We're in Target in 250 stores. We're also on IHERB.com, which is kind of like $1 billion Amazon type platform, as well as Sprouts and some other retailers.
Hey, and here's a little known secret. You can order from Costco.com anywhere in the country, and you don't need a Costco membership.
There we go. Little gem there. Thank you so much, Kareem and Claude. We are looking forward to having you guys back soon and chatting some more.
Thank you so much.